that we leverage that and make it interactive. If you feel that you want to move on to one of the other sessions, don't feel embarrassed. Don't think you'll upset. I'll cry later, and it's okay. Feel free to just stand up and move along the sessions. The sessions go for...
There's a total of 2 hours.
There's a total of 2 hours. We're going to do about a 15-minute, 20-minute presentation between each of us. Mine will probably go a little quicker, and then we'll jump into questions. I heard a lot of questions that I know other people in the audience can answer if Mark and I can't, so let's make sure that we help each other out. So with that, Mark, go ahead.
Can I ask you a quick question? Do we have internet access?
You do. The SSID that pops up should say Semantic. It's on the back of the... So, yeah, so you don't need a password.
There should be no password right now.
SEMTECK.
Okay.
It'll pop up.
ECH maybe?
Semantic. SEMTECH. Yeah. There's only one on there.
Great, so let me get started. My name is Mark Hadfield. I'm CTO of Alitora Systems, and my background is in software. And Alitora is a bit focused in the life sciences market, but we're also fairly general purpose. We do a lot of work with unstructured data, collaboration, and providing an API that you can plug into many different applications. And so I'm going to give a little presentation about an area of use of semantic technologies in the enterprise that I think is interesting, as well as give a quick demo of an application just to give the flavor of what I'm talking about. So you can think of value in 2 ways, either an IT value way or more of a business way. So I'm going to focus more on the business insight perspective just today, although you can plug in semantic technologies into any use case. And what I mean by that distinction is that this is a slide from a last year's presentation at Eli Lilly, where they internally have hundreds of databases. So from a DBA perspective, how do you manage that scenario? So that's more of an IT issue. But from a business insight perspective, how can you tie all these databases together to ask interesting questions? And that's what I'm getting at, more of a business insight, making better use of unstructured data across many different sources of data. So from if you're looking at this from the perspective of business intelligence, for example, you might want to ask questions like, what does the competitive landscape look like? Who could be a partner of my company? Who could be a customer of my company? How can I retarget a product in a new market? Who's an expert across my organization that I can leverage? So these are more business insight type of questions as opposed to more of your standard IT needs. So to answer those previous questions, it all really boils down to how do you surface and distribute insights across lots of different data. So that's really the fundamental key aspect here. And the way that we approach this at my company Alitora is by creating what we call an innovation network, where we use semantic technologies to tie people, databases, and unstructured data together into one seamless semantic network of information, and then allow that network to expose those insights based upon the connections there, the role of experts within that network, and so on. So it's really tying all your information together and making it a queryable source of data that can provide insights. And how we do that is by creating the semantic layer on top of your data repositories, whether they're a traditional database, more of a web unstructured content, or document unstructured content. And in the pharmaceutical market, this could be research articles or patents or clinical trial documents or really any kind of documents. But the idea is to extract information, what we call memes, that link information across these various data sources so it becomes one queryable set of information. And from a software perspective, how we do that has a number of different components that we've tied together. So at Alitora, we put together a couple different types of components into one unit of software. But there's different vendors have different components that could fit into any of these slots. For example, we have what we call Alitora Foundry, which is text mining, unstructured text. We use a graph database that we call Harmony. We have a collaborative layer on top of that, and then this block of software is available as a web service. And what that means is you can plug that into any existing application very easily, so you could tie contextual semantic information into your existing enterprise infrastructure. And just some of the details of the API, you can do searching, collaboration across teams and groups and organizations, annotating each bit of data by adding an uploaded document or an attachment to any point of the semantic network, processing documents via NLP, as I mentioned, and then that web service is available in a number of different technologies, of course, RDF among